Knuckle gets a few badass punches in on Youpi in my review of Hunter x Hunter, episode 118. Ladies and gentlemen, let the badassery rain down like a lightning bolt of pure awesomeness right into Youpi's face. This was another awesome episode of Hunter x Hunter, which featured the series' classical traditions of awesome action, really surprising plot twists, and really tense moments. This was another great episode. If I only had one complaint about it, it's that the story that's going on in the first half of the episode, I really don't care about it as much as what's going on with the other stuff. However, it's still pretty interesting. It involves Ikalgo, who has taken over the Flutter Dragonfly guy's body, and he's still trying to find that one girl, Palm. And my theory is that she's dead, and they're not revealing that yet because they want us to feel like shit when they actually do reveal that. But that's either here or there. The main thing with Ikalgo, though, is that he's trying not to be caught by the other Chimera ants. In particular, there's Bravada, the lobster man, who actually has these chain guns inside of his claws. That's pretty damn awesome. You don't see Zoidberg rocking that shit. Flutter's body is destroyed in the gunfire, but Ikalgo is able to survive and try to figure out what his next plan of attack is going to be. And that's when we shift over again to the battle between Knuckle and between Youpi, which is very intense. Youpi had just figured out how to control his brand new ability to make himself explode, and he's also learned to control that perfectly, and he's using this to sort of trick Knuckle into attacking him and making him seem as if he's going to explode, and then he's going to attack him right before he does this, and it's very smart, and there's a nice twist to this. But another thing that's interesting to note is when he destroyed parts of the palace, you get to see that other parts were actually pushed to the side, and the area where Morel is fighting against Shia-Poof hasn't really been affected that much, and they actually show us a little bit more about what Poof is doing here. He's actually not going through a transformation. I actually thought that's what they were going to do. And you know what? I'm going to give him a thumbs up for that, because that would have been the stereotypical thing to do, is to make him transform into some weird, freaky butterfly creature. But no, he's actually, like, turning his body into these, like, millions of tiny little insects, which are able to escape a little bit at a time out of this smoke place. And Morel is not able to notice this. So I'm guessing he's going to end up tricking him somehow. The bigger question is, who's going to fight against Poof? But let's go back to Youpi, who's exploding and going crazy, and he's trying to trick Knuckle. And Knuckle is trying to figure out what he's going to do, because he figures he only has a little bit of time to save shoot, but he still wants to get a little bit more damage on Youpi. And he can only do that as he's exploding, and that's when he decides he's going to get in there and he's going to attack him. And that's where this big scene begins, where Knuckle is running towards Youpi, and Youpi's getting ready to explode. And as he's jumping in the air, this scene is funny, and it's cool at the same time, because obviously Knuckles getting himself pumped up, he's getting ready to deck this dude in the face, and at the same time he also realizes, wait a minute, why is everything going so slow right now? Isn't this what happens usually right before you die? And that's when Youpi stops his transformation, and he gets ready to punch him, and then the big twist of the episode, ladies and gentlemen, is lightning comes from the sky, and it cracks Youpi in the head, and guess what? It's freaking Killua. It looks like he's going to be fighting against Youpi, and that is awesome. He basically wants to blow off a little bit of steam, and I love the scene at the end of the episode where Knuckle gets a lot of really good hits in because he had just been zapped by the lightning, and he hits him 8 times, and he's so psyched about this. He just runs and jumps out, and he's excited because he's actually going to be able to save shoot. However, this is where they segue into this other battle that is possibly going to happen between Youpi and Killua, and it looks awesome because Killua immediately starts to activate his lightning abilities, and it ends right there. This was another awesome episode of Hunter x Hunter. I like it for a number of reasons. One, it's going against the shonen trappings that we see all the time. I thought Poof was going to transform, and Youpi is not as dumb as he looks. He seemed like he was just going to be sort of like the hired muscle of the Chimera ants, but as the arc has gone on, he's actually become more self-aware, and if it wasn't for Killua showing up, I'm pretty certain that Knuckle would have probably been killed by that one single punch, which was really awesome. However, I do want to say it was incredibly satisfying when Knuckle got all those hits on Youpi. I was right there with him the entire time, punching along with him. It was really exciting. It was a great episode. Like I said, the first half of the stuff, it's not that important to me, but I know it's going to be important to the overall arc in general, because I know Gon wants to know what's going on with Palm. I want to know what's going on with Palm. Otherwise, this episode was good. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for all of the cool action sequences, the tense moments, the good animation, the music cues, and that awesome scene at the end where Killua decides he's going to intervene in the battle with Youpi. That's just really exciting, because he's my favorite Hunter x Hunter character by far, and I'm so glad to see that he's going to be playable in J Victory Stars Versus. So check out this episode. It's definitely worth your time if you're following this series. because shit's about to get even realer, and apparently from what I've been told, we're barely even into the battles of this arc, so I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. So if you guys checked out this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter, it's time to let me know what you thought about it with your comments below. You can tell me about your favorite moments, maybe shocking things like Killua showing up. Did you get the pun there? Shocking, lightning, whatever. The point is, before you leave, hit that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. It's definitely one of the best ways to support our videos, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, of course. And if you guys are interested, I just did a video on the second trailer that was just released for Godzilla. If you want to hear my impressions about that, I'll put a link to that video in the description box below. So, I'll see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.